There is something about AI adoption that nobody wants to say out loud. AI cannot fix a broken organization. In fact, I believe something much more dangerous can happen. AI can amplify it. I have worked with organizations large and small across industries, and I keep seeing the same pattern. Companies are rushing to ask, where can we deploy AI? Which process can we automate? How quickly can we get our people using ChatGPT, Copilot, agents, and AI tools? But I think they are asking the wrong question. Before you bring in an external intelligence, you need to examine the intelligence that already exists inside the organization. How do your people think? Because if your culture rewards obedience over questioning, politics over logic, and consensus over truth, AI is not going to save you. It is going to make those behaviors faster. Think about Wells Fargo. The problem wasn't a lack of technology. Employees were operating inside a culture where aggressive sales targets and incentives created enormous pressure. The result? Employees secretly opened millions of unauthorized accounts to hit those targets. The CFPB ultimately fined Wells Fargo $100 million. Now imagine putting powerful AI into that culture. You don't necessarily get better decisions, you can simply get bad decisions at machine speed. And we've already seen another version of this. Amazon developed an AI recruiting tool that learned from historical hiring data. The data reflected a heavily male-dominated workforce, and the system learned patterns that disadvantaged women. The technology wasn't consciously sexist. It simply learned the bias that humans had already created, and that's the point. AI doesn't enter an organization as a blank slate. It enters a culture full of incentives, power structures, blind spots, unspoken rules, and cognitive biases. Perhaps the most dangerous of them all is groupthink. Everyone sees the problem. Nobody wants to be the first person to say it. Someone raises a concern. The room goes silent. The senior person speaks. Everyone nods. And suddenly consensus is mistaken for truth. I've seen this repeatedly in corporate environments. And this is where I think businesses need to start. Before AI adoption, start with human cognition. Teach people to challenge assumptions. Reward critical thinking. Reward the person who asks the uncomfortable question. Reward problem solving, not just problem reporting. Reward logical reasoning, not hierarchy. And most importantly, make disagreement safe. Because an organization where nobody can challenge the dominant view is not an intelligent organization. It is a very efficient echo chamber, and here's where history gives us a rather uncomfortable lesson. During the European witch hunts, particularly from the 15th to 17th centuries, communities could become convinced that mysterious problems had a simple explanation. There is a witch among us. Accusations multiplied, confessions were extracted, more names were produced, and the style system began validating its own assumptions. The real causes of hardship didn't disappear, but people had someone or something to blame. That is the danger I see with badly conceived AI. We can start blaming the algorithm for problems that were actually created by our culture, our processes, and our decisions. AI becomes the witch. But sometimes the uncomfortable truth is, the model is simply revealing what we refuse to examine in ourselves. Fix them first, then bring in the machine.